Hi all, how you going? Welcome back to another Cooking Around the World. This is once again from home during the COVID times, and we're going to have a very interesting little snacky style recipe today. Can be a breakfast, can be a brunch, can just be in any time really. It's a hash brown ham and eggs, and because not all of us like to be having ham these days, we're going to have a little bit of a variation on the theme. Going to do a few with smoked salmon for our wonderful camera person.
That's me.
So we'll get on with this. What we do is we start off, we're actually going to make these in a muffin tray. This is how easy these things are. So we just grate up a couple of potatoes. So the recipe says about 700 grams. I'm not going to do quite that much because I don't need to make a 12 pack. There's only 2 of us here. So all we do, get our potatoes peeled. We grate them down. I've already done a couple in preparation. I'm sure you all know how to grate. I didn't want to do too much on camera because the possibility of leaving a bit of blood on the skin.
Or fingernails.
Or fingernails, so I'm going to leave it right there. We've got enough just to show what we're doing. Now the main thing we have to do here, once we grate our potatoes, we have to get as much moisture out of them as we can. So over the sink, let's give them a good squeeze. Take out as much moisture as you can. The drier they are, the better, the crispier they'll come up. Okay, into our pan. So we've already got some grated up. I've used probably about 500 grams of potato so far. So only 500 grams. Now, a lot of recipes, when you see these hash brown recipes, they'll be using flour and eggs and all that sort of stuff. Flour and eggs sort of makes them a bit doughy, and if you don't cook them correctly, it'll go a bit sort of gluggy if it's not cooked fully through. But I found out the best way to make your hash browns, let the starches from the potatoes, as they're cooking, more liquid will come out, and that just all holds it together, hopefully. You get a much nicer, crispier version of a hash brown without that sort of doughy mush going on in the middle. Now, all this requires is we put in a tablespoon of olive oil. We put in they say a quarter cup, just a nice little handful of parmesan cheese, grated parmesan. You can, of course, buy your own chunk and grate it, but I'm just going to use the packet one. Can't have too much of that, there we go. And in a moment, I'll make some straight up as the recipe suggests. I'm also going to add a little bit of, this is, if you see over here, Jack, this is actually spring onion. A little bit of spring onion chopped up, which when you cook up spring onions, you know, that's all roasting up in the pan, that'll give you a really nice flavour through it, but I'll only make that for a couple of them. So basically all we've got to do here is just a little bit of a mix up. What I'll do right now, we'll get a little bit of salt, you've got to season them. So a very large pinch of salt. And some pepper. Nice cracked black pepper would be good. Give it a good hit of cracked pepper. Okay. By the way, that's a pepper mill. It's all a good mix up. Get that olive oil and the parmesan cheese through the entire mix. Good. Now, let me just quickly wash my hands. Because we have our little buddy down here, always assisting in the kitchen.
Want some ham?
We think he found a bit of grated potato. No, not on the menu tonight, Equus. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is just spray out a muffin tin. How many will we make, Jack?
4.
4?
2 each. 6.
We'll see how we go. We don't need to make too many because this is got to be our little lunch today, Jack. Okay, we'll take a handful, put it in, maybe a little bit too much. What we do is just press it in nice and hard and form a little cup in there. In my usual messy self. There's actually, I think the recipe actually calls them egg nests, ham and egg nests, which you'll see when they come out, if it works of course, they'll come out as little nests. Cat's having a great time down here chasing the grated potato. He won't enjoy it, but he's having a good time chasing it. Don't really have to be too pedantic about this. A big word over lunch, Jackie. Come on, you're dying to say something.
I know.
See you bursting.
I'll keep it clean.
Ooh, you're going to swear at me. Try to make them so they're not too thick down below. And get them up the edges. Hello, Chris, you come to join in, have you? If only he liked potato. Oh, he loves potatoes, doesn't he?
Likes chips.
This cat loves Smith's chips. I don't know if you like the corn chips, though, Jack. Okay, now these are going to go into the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. So we just start to harden that up and crisp them up before we put the eggs in. So we'll get these into the oven. See, little cups. See, they do look like little nests already.
They do.
And then we'll load them up with some ham, some cheese, egg, and other things. Now, while I'm doing that, I'm going to press some onion into 2 of them. Do you want onion in yours, Jack?
Yeah.
Oh, we might make another one. So we're not fighting over who's getting what here. That's just a little addition. Yeah, you can just play around with these as you like. You can put grated carrot into this too if you can do them with sweet potato, grated sweet potato, and whatever you want. Once you've tried them out, you'll find out how much fun they are. They're so easy to do, and at this stage, potato roasted off. Yum. Okay, I'll just wash up, get these in the oven, and we'll be back in a moment. Here we are. We just brought our little nests out of the oven, so they're starting to brown up on the edges. They're starting to soften, all the potatoes softening inside. What we're going to do now, just by the way, the original recipe for this calls for leftover Christmas ham, so you know where this recipe must have originated in one of those Christmas magazines. So I'm just doing it with a bit of shaved ham. I've also got a little bit of smoked salmon for the non-meat eaters, but love the fish. Now what we're going to do is just tear some of this up. So you don't want lots in this, Jack?
No, not too much. It's quite salty.
A little bit more. We had to get rid of the cat. He went berserk when, as soon as he smelled the smoked salmon, almost took my leg off. I'm going to put some ham in these other ones, just tear it up. Line our muffin tins with some ham. Now I'm only going to put 4 eggs in because we won't want any more than that at the moment. We'll put our eggs on. Okay, number 4. and a little bit harder so make sure that there's enough room for the egg to go in there. And just because I love it, I'm going to put a little bit more pepper on top of them. Okay, these will go back into the oven like that, and we'll come back in about. By the way, they did about 20 minutes in a 180-degree oven to bring them to that point. While that was actually cooking, we got the rest of the potato, the grated potato mix, chucked in a little bit of grated cheese, and I'm making you some hash browns. Let's see how nicely they're coming out. There's no egg involved at all, and they're holding together beautifully. Right. I'm going to make us some nice yummy hash browns also. Cop that, McDonald's. Right, this is cool enough. This is going back into the oven now. That's a 180-degree oven. For about another 8 to 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and fish them out and see how we go. Okay. Here they are.
Yum.
2 spare ones for later, which we'll fight over. We love potato things here. And just by the way, those little hash browns I'd put in the fry pan before, this is how they came up. See, there's no egg, no flour, nothing. Look at that. Nice and crispy. They were really yummy. You don't need to add any extra salt to that. They had a little bit of parmesan. I added a little bit of extra grated cheese into it, which goes yummy and crispy too. You don't need to add any extra salt. That's more than enough, and they are fantastic. Okay, another thing. These are made with little 12 cup muffin pan. Be great to try one in one of these, but you'd have to put a lot of filling in it. But you could make like a pie-sized meal out of one of these. I reckon it'd be brilliant. So there's something for everyone to do. After you try this in a little muffin pan, let's try and make some monster ones for the grown-ups, not for the kiddies. Now, have a look at these. You see how they came out? We've already removed one so that we'd make sure it came out nice. We didn't want a disaster on camera. So here's one over here. It's come out beautifully. What I'm going to do is just add a little sprinkle of parmesan on top of that. These ones too. Look at that. Now, the recipe does call for a little bit of chopped chive over the top, but during these COVID times, we're travelling back and forth to the supermarket, got a little bit difficult. So we're just going to serve. That's why I put a little bit of the spring onion into the potato mix. Now we just put a little bit of dressing over our salad. There's a lovely little lunch. This is our hash brown egg nests. I won't call them hash brown ham and egg nests because some of them, which ones had which, Jackie? Some of them had ham in them, some of them had the smoked salmon. So you can just do these over. You can put in whatever you want. This is another one of those things. I said you could even do these with grated sweet potato, grated carrot in there, whatever you like. But these come out, they're nice and crunchy on the outside. When we pierce the egg, it'll be nice and runny. For those who like runny eggs, if you don't like runny eggs, leave them in a little bit longer till they're hard boiled or hard baked. And there you go.
Yum.
Hash brown egg nests with whatever you'd like to put in them. Thanks very much.